Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nokuhle, and in today's video, I have got 12 side hustles that you can look into if you're trying to make some money, whether you're a student or you're currently job searching and you just need some to bridge you over. I hope that the things that I have on the list will help you. I actually also want to say thank you so much to everyone who did contribute, because I took to Instagram under the Lomaku profile and I asked people, what side hustles do you actually do, or what work do you actually do as a student or someone who is still job searching? I didn't want theories. I didn't want things where I think they work or something that I would look into. I wanted actual jobs that actual people are really doing. And this is what you guys had to say. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Do leave me a comment if you like these or if you're considering one of these and this is the sign that you needed. And to those of you who did actually contribute, shout out. You're my besties. Okay, so number one, we have tutoring or pairing. This is kind of predictable, obviously, because it is university students. So tutoring is something that you might see happening quite often. So you can tutor in your university's capacity, so officially through university, or you can actually outsource your skills to a tutoring company. So there are a couple of companies, and I'll leave some in my description box. And then you also can actually just tutor privately, like where you sell your own services. Maybe you're finding your customers through TikTok, or you are approaching people, or you already have an in, so you know someone, and are you offering private tutoring where you control the pricing, you control how much you teach and all of that. So try it out. Also to say, you don't necessarily have to tutor things that are university level. So you don't have to be doing the actual degree to tutor the certain thing. You could, for example, tutor high school students or people who actually just want to learn certain things. I always say languages are becoming very, very important. People's parents don't really have time to teach them. And this might actually fall more into au pairing side. So if you target young professionals who are so busy and on the grind and they can't really pour into their kids, you could tell them, hey, I can tutor your kid, or I can teach them the native language. Could be isiZulu, isiXhosa, or whatever, whatever you speak. Use those skills. Those are actual skills. Don't take it for granted. Just because it's easy to you doesn't mean it's easy to someone else. As long as you have the patience to teach. And yeah, all the best. Okay. Number two, selling hair. Selling hair, not really something that's new, and we've seen a lot of it happening. However, if people are doing it as students, I guess it's still working. The thing is though, I feel like people can already buy their hair on AliExpress and Shein and all of that. However, I know some people are still stressed about that. They're still stressed about what the customs will be. They're scared about whether it's going to arrive or not. So they do still trust buying it from someone who is local. So use that to your advantage. And also remember, you don't, just because you're a student doesn't mean you have to target other students. You could be targeting people on Facebook, our moms, okay? Those people are really anxious about putting in their banking details on the internet and buying off Shein. So target them, okay? I actually have thought of this. I was like, oh, maybe I should have if you're a beginner, this is what you should buy, and send them a whole combo. Make it nice, because if you're selling to people who aren't really familiar with trends, give them everything. If they need a spray to stick down, if they need what's that band, if they need a melting band, just sell it as a package. Obviously cost it well, but sell it as a package. I think it could work, but you guys will let me know. And number three, photography. And I think I remember a lot of my friends did this, and I almost did this. My younger brother also did this. Photography. If you've got a camera or you've got a phone that shoots really nice pictures, have a look into it. As a sidebar, wedding content creator. Love that. It's coming up. Obviously, also I'm seeing a lot of this because I am currently wedding planning. So it's what do I want? What do I need? What are the nice to haves? And a wedding content creator is chef's kiss, because you want to keep your socials updated about what's happening, but also no one wants to see a bride doing this the whole time. It's just okay. So having a wedding content creator is someone who has access to your Instagram, or maybe has shared access or whatever, and they can post in real time for you. Sometimes also you don't want to wait for too long for your photographers to give you your official footage. So having someone who's been taking the behind the scenes, who can actually give you the footage as you're done with the wedding, is really chef's kiss. But yeah, have a look at that. If you're a student and you like your style and you think you are a content creator, you just you're anxious to be out there, maybe be a wedding content creator and offer your services to people. I think they have the money. Yeah. Number 4, nail tech business. So if you love nails and you're willing to take a course, or you're naturally talented, and you can practice with your friends, all of that, try it out. Nail techs actually make a lot of money. I know I saw a TikTok of people were like, imagine if we told people that on a bad month we make 30K. So I don't know if they make 30,000 net, like after all the expenses, or if they're just counting revenue. However, I definitely know, because like whenever I do my nails, I count, I'm like, this person is seeing like 5-6 people a day, and maybe let's assume they're only working like 20 days. Like I always calculate. I'm like, I wish I had more time. I'd probably do this because I love that. I try to do my own nails. I try to do my own hair. I'm a DIY girly. So if I could do some of these things for other people and charge money, that would be great. I just don't think I have the time. Number 5, makeup artist. If you are great at what you do, there are people who need you. Oh, that rhymes. I would even recommend signing up for things like Malachite. I know Mihlali has that platform. I tried to test it. Okay, like I did sign up and I did a little dummy profile, and I haven't really got any bookings. Because the thing is, whenever I am recommending things to people, I want to recommend off of things that I've seen, things that I've tested personally. So I struggled with this one, I'm not going to lie. However, I think it's also because I was just relying on the platform. If I were to open a page and dedicate it and actually get customers to do like trial makeup looks just so I can actually have a portfolio, I'm sure I would be good. What I would say with this is don't spend too much money on it. Remember, makeup is expensive, and if you're going to be doing people, you need to match their foundations and all of that. What I would say is really get a good foundation, get 1 or 2 shades, and then be good at mixing. You can mix. You can put a dark concealer so that it matches someone, or a lighter concealer so it matches them better. But obviously, as you grow, you need to reinvest money into the business so you can get more foundation shades. And then the other things are fine. Your eyeshadows aren't too expensive. And then also, be hygienic. Do use those disposable things. Now I'm just adding on. Okay, I'm adding on because I actually want to do a full-on video of the nail business and the makeup business, but it's coming. But this is what people do, and maybe as a student you can offer to do people for their dates. I think whenever you're selling, you need to frame it in a way that people want to come to you. So tell them, do you have a date? Let's make sure you land a second one. Come and get your makeup done by us, or something like that. I feel like that would have worked on me. But also remember your clients. Don't price 1,200 when your clientele are students. You're not being, realistic. Let's be honest, saving can feel like admin, but not anymore. Absa's latest innovation, Savings Coach, makes it feel like you're doing something fun for your future. You set your goal, whether it's a big dream like a car or just that first solo getaway. Absa Savings Coach helps you save towards it without the stress. It keeps you focused and lets you adjust on the go. It's personal, flexible, and actually works with your life. It's Absa's fun and smart new way to save, all available on the Absa banking app. Set your goal, automate your savings, and feel like a winner from day one. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. Number 6, people do bottle service. And similarly, number 7, promotions/activations for brands. So with bottle service, like at clubs, if you're someone who generally likes the club and you generally go out all the time, I think it does make sense for you to do this. However, there are dangers around this, so you obviously have to be smart. It's not just another job. It's not just another, just played by ear. And I can't comment too much on this because I don't like clubbing that much. Like, I've obviously gone to club and I go at least once or twice a year, but I really don't care too much about the club. But if you are someone who loves it, it makes sense. And apparently you also get like certain incentives. Sometimes they get you a free bottle, so you invite your friends. You get your friends on guest list, so they also come out and all of that. So it's nice. And people do make money, but some will say they make more money through the tips. But yeah, with the promotions and activations, again, you need to be you need to make sure that it fits in with your personality, because you're going to be talking to people, you're trying to encourage them to come and talk and have a look at whatever you're selling. So if you're a shy person who doesn't really like speaking to people, don't go and do something that's going to make you cringe every 2 seconds. But also, this is money and you do have to make an effort. So Number 8, waitressing. So I do know a lot of people who do this. I've also seen someone who did a video about how they used to work at Hudson's when they were in Cape Town. But there are other restaurants which are quite student friendly where they do generally hire students. So do have a look at this. Number 9, working within your university. And this is one that I actually did. So this could be being a library assistant, being a front desk assistant, being a sub warden. Again, tutor would also probably fall under this. But basically, you become an employee of a university. And I did this one because it just made sense, but also I was very calculated. When I used to be a receptionist at my res, and I was in housecom the previous year. So when I became a receptionist, everyone was like, why would you become a receptionist, not a sub warden? And I didn't want to be a sub warden. Sub wardens have a very big responsibility. Like if someone's going through something at res, if something's happening, you're the first, point of call. It's a very serious job. The pay is good. The pay is really good. But I needed to focus. I was in my final year. The money was just for nice things. I didn't need it that badly. With being a front desk receptionist, I loved it. It was so in tune with my personality because first of all, I love izindaba. I love people's, and seeing people sign in there. People's like, oh, okay. And obviously there were shifts, so I'm not like sitting there the whole day. I think the shifts were like hours or 2 hours max. And there were like so many of us, so we'd obviously rotate. But it was so interesting because you see people signing in people, and then it's like, oh, okay. So-and-so's person hasn't come in a couple of days. And guys, the gossip at reception. And also sometimes you see one person being signed in by 2 different people and it's like, interesting. So, yeah, that job, I low-key miss it. And when I was really busy, I used to pick late shifts because I didn't want to be disturbed too much because I could actually work at reception. Like I'd do my schoolwork whilst I'm working. So it just made sense. It made sense. And then at number 10, I have sell snacks. So, be a convenience store for people around you. It could be at your res or it could be in your neighborhood where you obviously buy chips in bulk at your cash and carry or your macro or whatever, and then you sell it. Obviously you'll calculate just to make sure that you are making money, and people like this. It might not seem like a good business in the beginning because why would anyone buy from you when there's a store right there? But at 9 p.m. when shops are closed and students want energy drink or they want snacks, they're gonna come to who? You. Obviously, if there's a vending machine, that's a whole different story. But also, vending machines are typically known to have higher markups than people. So, but just be safe. Be safe. Number 11, H&M sales advisor. So I think it doesn't even have to be limited to H&M. You can look at these other shops as well. But if this is your vibe and you generally spend a lot of time looking at fashion, how about you work in it? Okay. And then last but certainly not the least, and I actually don't know how, I've never really thought about it because I've really experienced it. But maybe it's also because I only experienced it for 1 year. But becoming a border mistress or a border master. So similar to a sub warden at a university, a border mistress is like a young-ish person who is employed by the school who is part of looking after, people who are in boarding. So your grade 8 all the way to matrix, if they have a problem during the night or there's something or there's commotion, you are usually the first point of call before you get to the big warden and the big matron and whatever, because when they get involved, the ndaba is already heated and people are getting in trouble. But when it's a border mistress, people are more willing to vent and, open up and say, hey, this is what's happening. Or, hey, the matrix are planning on sneaking out tonight. The border mistresses are people who hear about it first before your matrons and all of that. And I like this because being a border mistress or master usually means free food, free accommodation, and it's generally flexible or predictable. Your shifts again, because it's usually 3 or 4 of you. You're not working every single night. You guys will rotate amongst your availability and just have shifts. And it's a really cool thing. And you even walk out with work experience. And actually that applies to all of these things, guys. Bonus side hustle, online teaching, English specifically. There were a lot of responses around this. However, I've put it on the side because it typically requires a degree. So students might not be able to access it. However, if you are job searching, you definitely can look into this. However, not all require you to have a degree. So check out, do your research, and all the best. I do want to say, even if you don't need the money, because most of us go into these side hustles because we want the extra money. But even if you don't need it, do consider it, because it adds to your work experience. Like, it shows that you didn't just go to varsity and do that, or you're not just sitting at home. And I put that in inverted commas because no one is really sitting at home. People are always job searching, people are always doing stuff, they're trying to get busy. But if you don't really have anything formal to show for it, it kind of looks like you weren't doing much. So do consider it. But also, if you are still studying, I do want to say, be careful. Make sure it is not interrupting your studies. Remember, at the end of the day, you're there to get your degree, you're there to get your diploma, whatever it is. So focus on that, and then allow this to be like an extra thing. And I know some people say they don't have time. I think you can make time. If you really want to, I think you can make time. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you once again to everyone who did send me stuff. And if you're not following us on lomaku_LMK, you are missing out, because that is the VIP of this channel. So do follow us. And next time we have a poll, maybe you're going to be contributing. And so I will thank you in advance. Bye! If you enjoyed this video, please tip me with a like, comment, and subscription.